out the xenomorph.
Welcome to the far regions of outer space on planet LV Earth, which is funny because there's a TV series coming out next year called Alien Earth. We will see how it does. It's the origin of the Weyland-Yutani company. If you saw Alien Romulus, there was a 5 to 10 second little teaser for Alien Romulus. It has the Earth, kind of coming into view until you realize it's in the skull of the alien's head, and then it says Alien Earth. Supposedly, it's going to be about the formation of the Weyland-Yutani company. I don't know if we need to know that story. People are going to go into that show expecting aliens, people, so make it good. Disney, you're doing okay with this first film. You did okay with Prey, but that wasn't a Disney movie. That was a handover. So we'll have to wait and see. But I see the franchise in good hands, hopefully. I enjoyed Alien Romulus. Was it filled with Easter eggs? I don't care. I had more fun watching this than I did Covenant. So that was the last Alien movie. But let me tell you right now, people, the movie's been out long enough. If you hated Prometheus and Covenant, guess what? You're not going to like this film because Freddie Alvarez says you don't like this. Here's how I compare Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus reminds me of Avengers Endgame, and I'll tell you why. They went into that movie going, "You hate Thor: The Dark World. We're going to show you how much Thor: The Dark World means so much to us." And guess what? They made Thor: The Dark World effing relevant. And that is exactly what this movie did. This movie said, "You hate Prometheus? Well, guess what? We love Prometheus, and here's why." um, this is exactly what it needed to be. It just needed to be a very self-contained little alien story with some callbacks to the original, having it make its connections the way it needs to be in perfect ways that I had no problem with whatsoever. Exception of one giant basketball player that shows up. Um, there's a famous basketball player everyone's saying looks just like a certain thing in this movie. Oh my god. I can't wait for the action figure of that to come out. What is that? Is that the popcorn bucket?
Yep.
Oh boy. So, did you see the memes of all that the popcorn bucket with the Dune bucket?
Oh yeah, I've got two of them.
Yeah. So the Dune bucket and the alien head, just like somebody in marketing said, yes, approve that.
I mean, it seems like studios are trying to focus. Sometimes they're trying to focus more on the popcorn buckets than maybe they are on like how long the film's actually going to last. It's like, look, let's make limited edition popcorn buckets. They're going to
Make them
sell
look like
out, which
sex
is
organs.
great. Yeah, and then but the thing is, like, then other people sell them for like three times what they cost, which again, fine, no big deal. Personally, I love my little I'm a hugger shirt. It's got the little face hugger on there. I love my popcorn bucket. Am I gonna put popcorn in this? No. I no, I will never put popcorn in this. Do I like these items more than the movie? Possibly, possibly. There's a number of things I did not like about this film, but there are more things that I did like about this film, including the practical effects for the face suckers and the xenomorphs, the production design, which is chef's kiss, the CGI in space, which is amazing, the CGI regarding a certain character, hit or miss, and also possibly a little bit blasphemous to the dead. However, they got permission from the character's family, so it is what it is. I did have an issue with the Easter eggs and the callbacks. One, two, five, eight of them, that's fine. But when there's at least a number of double digits that are just for fanfare and stuff like that, including a line that is just blatantly out of place, and I heard
Yeah.
more and roll your eyes than any film I've been to this year. There's a lot they could have done with that. If anybody doesn't know, spoiler, a character says, "Get away from her, you bitch," in the film. It was also with a character that would never have said that, and he's never heard, I feel like, that word before, considering
Right.
what he is. So it just was very out of place, and we all know that it's just for the fans. roll the eyes. I don't think that was necessary. There are other things that, gave little winks and nods to, different alien films, which I thought were great. But that main one and something with the character named Rook was just not great. I liked the storyline. I thought that was interesting. Basically, I think Betty Alvarez did Don't Breathe in Space. And if you look at the think about the storyline and Don't Breathe and this, kind of go along a lot together. I think Kaylee Spaney as Rain, again, just cementing that she is an actress to watch. I already think she's got a possibility of getting a nomination for Best Supporting Actress this year, not for this film. But yeah, her acting is just, and her choices in her roles, it's just getting like better and better. But the person that we really need to talk about is David Johnson, who plays Andy. His character definitely was the most complex in the film. I thought he was fantastic. I personally am not aware of any of his previous work, but I don't need to because this one, whoo, he has definitely made an impression on me. I do say go see this in the theater, especially in IMAX. The visuals are just stunning. Like, honestly, I love it when a film can really make space like something that it's like, how did you do that? Like, how did you not just go up in space and film that outside a window? Because that's how real it looks. Betty Alvarez, I think, if this is the way what he's going to do, I like the open endedness of the ending of the film. I like that there is an aspect in the film regarding the uh, characters who are androids and how when they're supposed to be going to this new world that's supposed to be better than the crapshoot that they're in, that androids aren't allowed. That brought up a talking point with me to several people because it's like if you think about it, in any alien film, you only have one synthetic human being. And in this one, we kind of have one and a half. Wink, if you know, you know. But yeah, in all the other ones, except for three, because they don't have any of them, and then of course the Alien Predator films. But in all the other ones, there's only one. So that was very interesting that they would make that acknowledgement that once you get to the place where you're colonized, there's no androids. And even in
No
Aliens,
Wayland Utani
besides
uplink. No
besides
mother uplink.
Bishop, there's no synthetics. So that was, an original concept. I thought a number of things with these xenomorphs were original. I thought some things with the facehuggers were original. I liked that he used and he insisted on using, and when I say he, I mean Fede Alvarez, the director, he insisted on using practical effects because one of the biggest detriments, I mean, there's a lot, believe me, but one of the biggest detriments in Covenant was the CGI. Like, these are creatures that from the beginning have been unlike anything that has been on film. And each one, that's what you want to see. You go in to see a xenomorph and a facehugger. So I'm glad that he made sure that there were practical effects on this. Again, I say go see it in the theater. There's more that I liked than I disliked, but yeah, the fanfare was a bit too much. Hoping there's a sequel with Kaylee Spaney and David Johnson. So yeah, I say go see it.
What was the actress who played her pregnant friend, who was Dora the Explorer? I absolutely love the memes that popped up of her and her Dora the Explorer all chippy, like, hey, look at that over there. And then it's like her being like, oh. And then the next scene is her covered in blood and Dora being like, oh no.
Oh no,
It's
I
like,
have
oh
not
my
seen
God, that
those.
is. Yeah, she was the live action Dora the Explorer that came out a few years ago. Um, which that movie had a lot of parents not really happy about because it aged Dora up to an 18-year-old teenager and not keeping her like at 10 years old. And it's like 18-year-olds are a lot easier to work with than 10-year-olds. But I digress. She was the only actress that I recognized in this whole movie, and that is besides Brooke. But that is okay. I do love the fact that it's been a long time since we've seen a credit for it. Now, I crazy as it sounds, I have not seen the Dune films. And I don't know how much of the concepts from the Dune film they took from anything Giger designed for the old unmade Dune movie, but it was fantastic to see good old HR getting his standalone credit for the creature design in this film, as it would be no Alien without Giger. Um,
Yeah.
Before the when Dan O'Bannon wrote his script, which was heavily rewritten later on, the concept of what the alien looked like was just the alien. They had no idea. So when Ridley Scott with them were trying to figure out, going, okay, what is it? And they were like, we don't know. They had this thing sitting on a copy table, and they pointed to something in the image of that thing, just with its giant, you know what I mean? It's like sucking its, you know what? And that's when they came up with the big chap. Now, this, by the way, toy right here represents the original Alien from the Ridley Scott film, which I thought was really nice to be able to see that show up in this. In fact, when they uncover that rock and they pass by the debris and it says Nostromo, you know exactly what's about to happen. They're going to uncover the original alien. Now, whether it was still alive or not, that was kind of a surprise. Of course, we don't really see that, but they did, like, like little things like the harpoon, which I thought were fantastic, things like that. And honestly, I don't have a big problem with Prometheus. In fact, I'm watching a 4-hour documentary about Prometheus, if you can believe that. The 3 disc set for the Blu ray came with a 4-hour documentary about the making of Prometheus, and it is beautiful. Stupid scientists in that movie aside, that movie is beautiful to look at. And the fact that they took that simple plot line of the bioengineered black alien ooze, which sounds like more it gets from the X Files. Do you remember that plot line from the X Files?
Mhm.
Um, so whenever that was the big thing in Prometheus, I immediately went, "Gee, that's wow, does that sound familiar?" And of course, they make it much more. They say out loud a lot more what it is in this movie. Like they talk about what it is in this film a lot more. So it makes Prometheus seem like it makes more sense, even if that wasn't well written. Um, don't
I
worry about it.
personally love Prometheus. I agree.
I do too, but they don't mention this, thankfully, and we don't need to mention this, so that's good. This is Alien, the book, The Alien Covenant.
Oh, yeah.
Um, no, I mean, again, I'll look at Alien Covenant as like it's a pretty looking film, but it's effing stupid as hell. I don't want to rewatch this. If someone says to me I've never seen it before, I'll be like, all right, we'll throw it on and watch it. I want to hear your opinion about it afterwards.
What's
Thankfully, we're never
interesting
going
though
back to
is
that.
that while I don't like Alien Covenant, I would like to see what happens when everyone gets to the place where they're supposed to go. Because again, there's multiple films in the Alien franchise where it ends on a ship where everyone's in cryo sleep. With Alien
And
Covenant,
now,
you lost 90% of the crew. No one else, I don't think, everyone who else is in cryo sleep does not know how to do anything with the ship. And the primary tools you have to do your farming have gone out in space. So all those colonists that are in cryo sleep are kind of fucked. But I heard that we're supposed to be, and actually this is supposed to be a 3 series arc, but because Covenant did so
you're 100%
bad
right.
that
Yep.
they scrapped it. And I'm like, well, that friggin' sucks because yeah, I would like to see what they did with Fossbender and David when he
And,
gets there. Again,
and
this
Disney
is
Disney bought
interesting.
Fox right when they
Yeah.
scrapped it.
Well, I
So
mean, it's one of those things that it's like when they took away the Last Supper scene from Covenant and basically gave any of us any connection with these characters, it was doomed from there. But I
and
when they at the beginning of Romulus, when you realize that they are looking for an alien, and then when they're in the med bay and you realize that it actually is the alien from Nostromo, to me that just gave me so much anger because to me that made me realize that it's like, so you did know what Ripley was talking about, you did know that there was alien, you did hear her transmission, and they probably definitely put her in space, got her lost in space for all those years.
right. And there was even a book, by the way, that was written about Ripley coming out of cryosleep between the events of Alien and Aliens. Now, I don't know what fiction in books is canon or not. Unless it's Star Wars, nothing is canon. Star Wars has it labeled canon universe. Everything from 2012 onward is canon. written by Disney. Comic books, books, and video games. We just had a new video game come out today called Star Wars Outlaw about a female smuggler, and it takes place between Empire and Jedi, and that's all canon. But the alien stuff, I don't know. Since Prometheus has come out, Alien versus Predator 1 and 2 are not in canon anymore because Mr. Wayland can't be killed by a predator in Alien versus Predator and become um who played him in the Prometheus?
Who are you
Not
talking about?
Mr. Wayland.
Oh, Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce. So he can't be played by Guy Pearce later on. It's just impossible. Um, but not to get into a big thing about this, we need Alien Romulus to do well for multiple reasons. One, it will give hope that the Alien TV series coming next year will be given the care and consideration Disney's putting into it, and not just half-assing it, pulling the plug on the budget, and then we getting a half-ass show. That show's already filming or it's been filmed, so we don't need to worry about that. But there's other things we need to think about. There's a Predator Prey movie coming, and this director and the Prey director want to team up and do a better Alien versus Predator movie. However, Disney is currently sitting on 10 episodes of a completed anime style Alien versus Predator cartoon series they have not done anything with for 4 years because they are afraid of this franchise and they need to see how it does. Thankfully, Romulus is making money. It had a very low budget, so it's doing very well at the box office internationally and domestically. Prey did extremely well in Hulu, had good DVD sales and Blu-ray sales, or sorry, Blu-ray and 4K sales. So that's good as well. So we need to keep pushing people to go see this movie in theaters or give it any kind of like positive word of mouth so we can keep getting this kind of level of caliber of storytelling or better, minus the flaws that we point out in this movie that we may or may not like. So that way this franchise is in good hands going forward. Whether Fede Alvarez comes back to do it, who knows? We don't know anything yet. Nothing's been announced. Dateline recently said that Sigourney Weaver, who's on the set of Grogu versus, I'm sorry, Star Wars story Mandalorian and Grogu, she is going to be in that movie. She has also said, I'll come back for an alien movie. Okay, sure. I'm sure Neil Blomkamp would love to make that movie from like 2.5, but at this point, I don't even think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
What they do with that, I have no idea. I mean, at some point, Ripley is going to be, what, 80 years old? I mean, if she's even still alive in one universe or the other. I mean, what are we going to do? Go back to Alien Resurrection and be clone Ripley with Cal?
It would
They,
have
by
to
the way,
be.
they did that sequel at Dark Horse. It was called Aliens versus Predator versus Terminator. The planet, the Earth they land on, is ravaged because of the Terminator War. Yes. That was an actual comic book produced in the sequel to Alien Resurrection. There's also,
Interesting.
yeah, there's also Alien Original Sin where Ripley, Cow, Ron Perlman's character, and the guy in the wheelchair, I don't remember his characters. I don't remember their characters' names. They find out that there are eggs aboard the space station, and they also find out that it's on this way to this planet where there are these bioengineers that live there. And it was before Prometheus, and it's Ripley, Cal, and Ron Perlman's character meeting the engineers.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I had a
very.
question for you. One, do you recall them having a name for the xenomorph that was from Nostromo?
Uh, they nickname it Big Chap.
Yeah. Is that in the film?
No, I think that's just like what the toy is called.
Okay,
They
okay. Because
oh
I
Ash
heard
called
that, and
what's his name? Ash called it Kane's son.
yeah, because I heard that, and I was like, I don't remember them saying that.
Yeah,
Two, I also heard that apparently the space station has been dormant for 6 months. And it's like, again, I don't remember them saying anything like that in the film. I do know that when the guys said it's like there's a ship up there, we're gonna take their cryo tubes and so we can sleep. And then when they get up that it's a space station, it's like immediately everyone should have been like, can we abort? Because if you guys didn't know that this was a space station and not a ship, then obviously there's a lot of stuff you're not aware of.
right.
The third thing is that I swear when Rain was in the elevator shaft, she had the xenomorph in her face, and when its mouth opened, I swear there were like sparks or something in it. Here's my thing, and I have to see it again, but I swear I was like, is that, does it have some sort of like mechanical or some sort of, and I was wondering, did Rook get impregnated with an alien and that could possibly be a xenomorph that came from him? Or do you recall that at all with like the mouth opening and sparks coming from inside it
No, I think Rook got ripped. I think Rook got melted in half because they finally
with the
were able
acid?
to kill. Yeah, because his acid was leaking through everything. But you bring up something that was there was an okay. So it Dark Horse was the publisher of the Alien comic books before Marvel was acquired by Disney and they switched the licensing over. There was a comic book crossover event called Alien, Predator, Alien versus Predator, and Prometheus Blood and Stone. Four separate miniseries with two back ends. Four miniseries with 4 issues apiece with those titles that I said: Alien, Predator, Alien versus Predator, and Prometheus. And in it, there is a android that is infected by the black oil, and he becomes this kind of like he becomes like a full human being, creature, engineer hybrid with a yeah. It's he looks like a red and white alien, but it's he was once an android because he infected himself with the black oil to
When you
find
say
out if
red
it
and white alien, do you mean like an engineer or do you mean like a xenomorph?
it looks like his muscles are showing through his white tissue. And he's got very much like xenomorph like attributes. He does not have the big skull, but he's got like a big bulbous head. And
Oh, so
again,
like a combo xenomorph
correct.
engineer kind of
Yeah,
thing. Okay. Okay.
it's some android. I don't remember. It's this is 2024, so it's been a few years since I've read this story, and it's out of print. And Marvel has not reprinted it yet, and people are begging them to reprint this book because the original trade paperbacks are hard as hell to find. But this thing, um, it infected itself with the black oil because there's the black oil has biomechanical properties, as David is seeing like playing with it in his fingertips, and like in the fingertips you can see the sparks come out of it or whatever when he's looking at it
Hmm.
trying to figure out what it is before he sticks his finger in what's his name's glass.
Yeah.
um the also whatever they are, colonists, space pirates, space explorers, whatever, they land on the planet that the LV planet, and the whole thing is like a tropical jungle now because of the engineers' pods got like spilt out all over the planet. And there's like xenomorph sharks and monkeys, and the entire ecosystem has grown up overnight. But everything looks like every creature on the planet looks like a xenomorph of some kind. Um,
And this is my understanding from Romulus that knowing the timelines of all the films, that LV 426 is actually the planet that was in Prometheus.
No, it's not. It's elf. That is, it's that. Right at the beginning of Prometheus, when they wake up from their when they enter the atmosphere, it says it's LV something else. It's not the planet Ripley stepped down on and Hadley Hope from Aliens.
I don't know. I just always thought it was LV
Unless, of
4
course,
because
they
the
got a
way.
retcon saying they got it wrong and it is that thing. But the thing is that the planet that the xenomorphs are on, found in the original Ridley Scott film and the James Cameron film with Hadley's Hope, that engineer is fossilized, and there's only like um 20 or 30 years that passed between Prometheus and the original Alien movie.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot longer than 20 or 30 years to fossilize. But again, that's an alien creature and supposedly our god creator. So who knows? But it
Well,
is a
yeah, but I
very
mean,
it is
besides
a
the
different
one
planet.
that got impregnated by the squid thing, all the other engineers, and it was like 2,000 years because I remember David saying that. So it could have been one of the other engineers that were in the ships, like the ship's deck. Um,
The planet in Prometheus is, according to Alien, all the different sites, is LV-223.
okay.
It's 28 years before the events of Alien, which is LV-426.
Yeah.
Also Hadley's Hope, the Hadley's Hope planet, because it's the same planet for Aliens.
Yeah.
Um, that it's just I the thing is, everyone wishes that it was LV-426. Just like everyone, don't forget, it's one of those weird like prequel retcon things that everyone wishes that Rey was actually the son of. Sorry, Rey was actually the daughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi. That would have made so much been so much better than her being the daughter of the clone of the Emperor. Because let's make that complicated.
No, Rey was the granddaughter of the emperor.
She's the daughter of the clone of the Emperor. The clone of the Emperor is her father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like, by the way, Snoke. Did you ever find out who Snoke really is?
No.
He is the clone of Luke Skywalker, created by the Emperor. Why?
Interesting.
Create because the Emperor likes to create confusion. The Emperor pitted two sides of a galaxy against each other for a civil war that would weaken the Jedi so he could take over. And then he created a Supreme Chancellor, which had no purpose whatsoever other than to create confusion. It was revealed in a Marvel comics by in the Darth Vader series. And boy, did it piss the fans off to find out Snoke was nothing but a clone of Luke Skywalker.
Interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, but I
But
digress. That this is it all comes back it all comes back to Disney because Disney owns both Star Wars and Aliens. Now coming out, which sorry, came out this week. Which I definitely want to recommend everyone go to their comic book store and find, which I'm very excited about, is the long-awaited crossover between the Marvel comics and Aliens. We have Avengers versus the Aliens, and it is not set in the regular Marvel comic universe because issue 2 is already revealed. Earth has been decimated. The Avengers are on the run. The xenomorphs are everywhere. There's only one thing left to do, and it says assemble. So it's definitely making it clear that this is not set in the regular Marvel comic books continuity. Unlike Predator versus Black Panther, which is happening right now, and Predator versus Wolverine, both ended became retcons in their respective characters' storylines. So go to your local comic book store. There's some funny covers out there done very comedically. One has like a face hugger on Captain America's face or whatever, and there's a cute little image of like Black Panther sitting like a cat with Hulk and Captain Marvel. It's just adorable. But the artwork in it is absolutely chef's kiss. They couldn't have found a better artist and writer to write Avengers versus the Aliens. It's something that the fans have been waiting for a long time. They recently just finished their very first What If Alien story. What if Carter Burke lived? Go check it out. Should be collected in a trade paperback. It's actually written by Paul Reiser.
interesting.
Yeah. Um, Go check out this Alien movie, people. Like I said, support it so Disney can continue showing, seeing that the fans want more of this. Unlike another movie that came out, which nobody wanted to go see, and of course, it's made the entire fan base, the IP toxic for studios to want to touch anytime soon. The word of mouth of this Alien movie has been mostly positive, but it's definitely hopefully giving Disney enough of a momentum to be like, all right, let's do this again, but let's try some things differently this time. You know what I mean? We don't need a movie like Aliens again, but if you want to do a movie like Aliens, I'd be more than happy with some really cool Marines fighting some aliens, in a big old battle film. But keep the suspense in there. That's the thing I would love to see happen is we do an Aliens, but not just a complete copy of Aliens. Give the Marines like a
Yes.
really big fighting chance. You know what I mean? Don't have them all. Don't make it the allegory for the Vietnam War like we made the last one. Just give us like a really cool, kick-ass R-rated aliens versus colonial Marines, just shooting stuff up, whatever, and just badass them all over the screen. If you write a good script and you have amazing characters with popular actors, you will make an incredible film. So that's my hope for the next film. So we'll have to see.
I say
Lex,
keep practical effects because that's one
yes,
of the
that
best
too.
things about this film. That is one of the best things about, the superior films in the Alien franchise. Keep the amazing set designs, use the CGI, utilize it for space, not the aliens. Don't do that because honestly,
No.
it just doesn't look good. But yeah, I say see this film too. Again, there's more things I liked about it than I didn't like. Just if you don't know the full franchise, that actually might be better for you because then you won't have some, annoying moments. But I also think this would be an amazing video game. And yeah, but I say check it out.
Like, subscribe on this video. Check out the rest of our reviews, especially our newest review about the new Channing Tatum horror movie suspense thriller by Zoe Kravitz, Blink Twice.
Don't
Also,
blink, or yeah, blink twice. Yeah.
Blink Twice. We've got some other cool horror reviews coming up sometime in September, October, because we're obviously leading into Halloween. Check out Katie over on all of her channels, such as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And ooh, I got nothing else to promote. So thank you, everyone. Have a good night. I didn't know what you were doing. Okay, I see it now.
Yeah. It's a xenomorph.
I get it. I see it. I was just like, wait a minute, what are you doing?